Good to see you. Welcome. How we doing? I love Bailey signs. Those are nice. I think Katie showed me those on Instagram. Very cute. How are we feeling? You guys ready for the show? Me too. Welcome to the Resolution Tour. I'm so excited. This is the beginning of our sort of West Coast run up the coast of the West. We have LA and San Fran and Seattle and Portland, so we're at the very end of the tour, but we are not really close to being finished. This has been a hell of a run. We're so excited to perform here tonight. I think this is my first time at this venue. So, very excited. I hear the sound is amazing. You guys have any questions? Anything that's burning inside that you just have to know about? What do you got in the back?
Okay, what is the weirdest encounter you've had with a fan?
The weirdest encounter? With a fan, yeah, I got it. I don't know, I mean, there's been a few. I had one fan give me a sealed envelope, like a pink envelope, with like a used anti-acne pad on it. It's very awkward. I didn't know what to say. I was like, thank you, also you're very strange. Please don't come and see me ever again. Yeah, what do you guys?
Would you be Crash Bandicoot, Spyro, a Lego guy, and the supervillain you would be, and Star Wars character?
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, I'm very partial to Young Justice. I'm just gonna answer the last part of your question because I don't have the bandwidth to remember all of that. But I would say I'd probably be Nightwing because, you know, I am Nightwing. What do you got? Yeah. So just recently, actually, like a week and a half ago, we were at is it called The Rave? I think it's called The Rave in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And this place is notorious because evidently Jeffrey Dahmer, the serial killer, if you don't know who that is, he was a guy who basically, you know? Okay, I don't have to explain it? Just like me now. So this guy like cut people up and then ate them at the hotel across the street from the venue. So there was that, and then also this venue was built in like the 20s or something, and it's a beautiful venue, but it's like eerily beautiful. And in the main room, like everyone and their mother has performed there. Apparently like this one woman in the 20s, or the 50s actually, like leaned over the balcony and she fell off the balcony and died. She broke her neck and it was awful. And, so they say like they were giving us a tour of this venue and they were like, oh, you know, we can still hear this woman like walking up and down the steps only in that little balcony area. And I was like, this is enough, I'm done. And then like they took us down because it originally was like a YMCA kind of thing. It was a club back in the 20s for, I guess, the rich. And a lot of people would go there and swim. So they took us down to this pool that was like built, again, in like 1928. So it had this beautiful, like these beautiful tiles, all still like in like pristine condition. And they said somebody slipped, like a young girl slipped in the shower and like hit her head and died, and they still hear footsteps, and I'm like, come on, with the footsteps, I don't believe this. So we're in the pool, and I think it was like either my lighting guy or one of my sound guys was like, all right, if somebody's here, like make it known. Yeah. And I swear to God, the light right next to me just starts going, like just flickering. And I look at like everyone in the room, like to make sure no one's like playing a prank. And then like it stopped, and then I looked at it again, so it started flickering, and it was the craziest. I mean, he gave us all chills. We're like, let's get, I'm done, the tour's over. So that was my latest ghost encounter. What do you got?
What's your coffee order?
Good question. I'm a purist, so I like just a classic drip. I like a good like Ethiopian blend. I actually grind my own coffee beans on the road and like do my own single pour overs. So I'm very big into like a nice light to medium roast. But I don't have a region preference. Like Guatemala too. What do you got? I do still talk to some of the guys from Dream Street. I talked to Matt. I actually just saw him, not this past Super Bowl, but the Super Bowl before when the Eagles beat Boston. I was at that game, and Matt was there like a couple rows behind me, and I had no idea. And he hits me up and he's like, "Look behind you, up to your left." And it was really cool. We hadn't seen each other in years, and so after the game, we went and had a couple beers together and caught up. And they're great guys. In the back, I see somebody in the back. Yeah, you.
Hell yeah, yes.
Yes.
All right, cool. So I have 2 questions. So, sorry, that's annoying. So what fragrance do you like to wear?
I'm not big into fragrances, actually. I don't wear a lot of fragrances. There is this one, and I don't know how to pronounce it. And the only reason, you know, Sarah Jessica Parker wears it. She does. But it's a men's cologne. And I always thought that was kind of interesting. So I was like, I gotta go see what this is like, because she wears it all the time, and I've been hearing about it, and someone said it was amazing. And then I went, and it was amazing. And I feel really stupid that I don't know the name of it, but I don't wear it that often. Like, sometimes I guess if I'm feeling good about myself, or like, I'm gonna wear cologne in it, but I don't often wear it. It actually can give me like sinus infection and a headache, so it's not very sexy. So, what was the second part of your question? Try to keep it sexier.
What was your favorite Dream Street song that you guys did?
Say again?
What was your favorite Dream Street song that you guys did?
My favorite Dream Street song? It's gotta be Gotta Get the Girl, right? It's gotta be. That's, you know, that was my one solo. Right here. Yeah.
Just here.
Did you forget? Okay. Well, it's funny. I was like 14 or 15 when I first heard the song, and I went on like a music publishing website called Taxi, and it's basically a bunch of like unpublished writers or writers who are like struggling trying to make it, and there's thousands and thousands and thousands of songs, and that was one of the songs that I heard. And I remember my manager at the time, and still today, she heard it and she's like, "I think you should sing this song, I think it's really cool." And I was like, "Okay, well, sure." And I just like was eager to sing anything at that point. So I kind of just discovered the song, and then I became very close friends with the writers years later, but I basically pulled this thing out of a hat. It was like a needle in a haystack story. And I mean, it literally was among thousands of songs in this catalog, and I recorded it, and then I think it was like, I don't know, 5 or 6 months later, we put it out on like Radio Disney to see what would happen, because it was like on the heels. It was right on the heels of Dream Street, you know. So it was like right coming out of that boy band thing. So Disney was in sort of had a good relationship with over there at Radio Disney, and they started playing it, and it became like the #1 song over there. And then all of a sudden, like I would find myself in a deal. But it was like a year and a half later before it hit FM radio or the big time, the big charts. And it was like, I guess I was like 16 and a half when it really made it. But I had recorded it when I was 15. And a funny anecdotal story about that, I was brutally sick when I recorded Beautiful Soul. If you listen to the original recording, you guys have listened to it, I'm sure, but it's, you can hear like, I'm very nasal, and like, it's hard. Maybe if you don't know my normal speaking voice, you would know, but I was also like kind of on the edge on the very end of puberty. So it's just like, it's a different sound or quality, and I always wonder like, I wonder if having a cold is the way I should record every song. What do you got?
Why are you touring again, and where is a full album? What are you
Why
waiting
am I
for?
touring again? Because I'm naked. No, I'm touring because I released a couple new songs earlier last year, obviously, and I wish I could be releasing more all at once, but there's only one of me, and I don't have that much time at the moment. I've been traveling so much, not just on my own tours, but also a lot of colleges. I've done like over 50 universities just last year alone. So over 100 shows last year, which doesn't leave a lot of time or mental capacity to finish the album. But I have about 5 or 6 songs done. The album is hopefully coming this year, and at the very least, more songs in the next couple months. So yeah, so that's the idea. And I tour just because it's good to support those songs. And after the summer tour that was sold out, it just seems like you guys wanted me to come out. So, yeah. Okay. Where is Kid Flash? I mean, I don't know. You're gonna have to watch the show. Do you even know the context of that question? She said I didn't want to ask this. I mean, you don't understand? So Kid Flash is another character in Young Justice. Okay. It's all right. What do you got? Yeah, you, right here in the back. Yep. You know what? I did. I ran into Lori. She asked if I talked to Lori Loughlin, and I ran into Lori at the same game that I ran into Matt Ballinger. Everybody, it was just a huge reunion, that Super Bowl. And I ran into Lori literally. I was walking out of the bathroom, and I was going this way, and she was walking out of the bathroom going this way, and I stepped on her foot. And I was like, oh my God, I'm so hot, Lori? It was like one of those moments, and she's like the best. She, you know, she was like growing up in LA on set. She was like my on-set mother, and she looks amazing. She looks exactly the same as I saw her last, and she's one of my favorite people in Los Angeles, and really was responsible for giving me a big break in terms of television. So, love Lori. Who else we got? Go ahead. Everyone's so shocked when they come up. Some of the people that some of the singers or songwriters that inspired me were people like Stevie Wonder and Michael Jackson, Prince. I don't think you can be in the genre of pop music today. Don't look at those people as heroes, you know, particularly Mike and Prince. But also like singer-songwriter types like, you know, James Taylor and Billy Joel, Elton John, and Carole King, and all those great songwriters from the 60s and 70s, I think, were a big part of who I am now. What do you got? Yeah?
So you did this hilarious walkout when I was in Cleveland. Hilarious.
I did?
And then I saw some like post of you, Jesse versus Jesse. Where you like, put some face, and then you said like, why do you think this video of me? It's a hilarious post.
Really? Who posted that?
On your ride?
I did?
Jesse versus Jesse was just like, why are you posting this when you're an asshole or something? It's hilarious. And it was really funny.
It's vaguely coming back to me.
Totally starting to show some weird comedy.
Thank you. It's a good tip. Oh, thank you. I try to incorporate a little bit of my own.
No, you do like this throwing bass thing when you came out and you walked was hilarious walkout.
I have a new stage director for the show. Well, thank you. I appreciate the compliment. I try to incorporate as much of my own personality into the show as I can. I try to make every night a unique experience, because obviously the set list is very similar every night. It's the same every night, but we do. It is. The set list is something that I pore over for months before we. Yeah. Well, that, and also just like a set list is a hard thing to like actually run on stage, and you want it to be comfortable and you want it to move and take you up and down, but the things in between is what I think are the variables, you know, the moments with you guys and like what happens during the show or the interactions. Like that's to me what makes the Phoenix show so special. What do you got in the back? Yeah.
Oh my God, are you gonna play It's Over?
I guess you'll have to find out. I like that you didn't cheat and go online and look at the set list. That makes me so happy. Who cheated and knows what the set list is?
I did.
Really? The rest of you didn't? Are you lying? You just want to like make me feel good? How about in the back?
What is your favorite color?
What is my favorite color? Such a sweet question.
It's something we want to know from you.
Sure. It's orange.
All right.
Yeah. Let's do two more. How about right here on the side, here? What was my experience filming Summerland? It was incredible. Listen, I moved from New York when I was 16 years old to Los Angeles. And during pilot season, it's like March. So it's like brutally cold still on the East Coast. It's not fun. When you go go out to Malibu, and they're like, we're gonna pay you to surf 4 days a week on the beach. What do you think? And I'm like, this or statistics in high school? Yeah, that sounds good. So it was great, and the best part is like I got to fly out a few weeks early and learn how to surf. I got free surfing lessons, which I don't use that often. I haven't been surfing since the show, really, but it was just amazing, you know? And then when the show got canceled, it was back to reality. I was like, oh, this isn't LA for everyone? It was a wild experience, and I got to work with some incredible people who I still maintain friendships with. Obviously, Zac Efron, Lori Loughlin, Ryan Quanten. I talked to Kay Panabaker from time to time, who's now a zoologist. I think she's not even in the industry anymore, but a lot of people that were in that cast went on to do really great things. So it was a very special time in my life. All right, let's do one more. Who wants to know? All right, in the back. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Who is your dream collaboration?
My dream collaboration?
Yes.
Dead or alive or alive?
Both.
Both. Ah. I really love Halsey and her tone and her voice. I think she's got a really interesting and unique sound, and she's like super skilled technically. Like as a singer, listening to what she does, it's hard to do, and I think it's really cool. And then if I could do a collab with somebody dead, it'd have to be Elvis Presley. I love you guys. I'm gonna go get ready for the show. Thank you so much for hanging out. Have a great time, enjoy, and I'll see you after. We'll take some pictures later, yeah?